Wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing. Not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops and find to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. To the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Meac for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, B-Face, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, sun up, baby.
Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's backpack, capital one. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeant's a wick smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody out there. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. It is Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Shout out to Wednesday. Wild Out Wednesday. All right, I'm about to wild out today. Hey, man, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like the stream. I know you had some of you guys at work, some of you guys at the house, crib, you know what I'm saying, working from home, whatever. Make sure you like the stream before you get in, do whatever else. Say what's up to the community. Like the stream, okay? And if you're a hater, you already know what you can do. You can... If I make you feel some type of way, you ain't got to be here. All right? You ain't got to be here. All right? Nobody's twisting your arm. Nobody's making you do this. You don't have to be here. Okay? Anyway, so today, Sanjay Stills, the Elite Eight. Listen. I don't know if she doesn't know March Madness is over, but ma'am, let it go. Let it go, okay? You don't, listen, Elite Eight, you stop it. Stop it, okay? The foolishness, the buffoonery, got to stop. Anyway, listen, because what Dr. Cavill ain't gonna say, because, you know, Professor Andrew and Professor, listen, ain't no professor in over here. I'm gonna give it to you raw, straight, no chaser. You hear me? Ain't no professors in over here. Hey, I ain't got no degrees. Ain't nothing being professed over here, okay? But class is in session, though. Class will be in session, though. Just want to make that very clear, okay, class? Class will be in session. Anyway, anywho, okay? Before I get into that, make sure you like the stream once again. Stop playing with me. You know the like police is never too far, okay? We in this new house, but she is never too far, all right? And also, make sure you go download the HBCU League Pass app. I told y'all, listen, I'm on that, Jay. Support, Black owned, do what you do, but watch my shoes, you feel me? All right, so once again, soon, listen, coming soon and very soon. We are going to see the king. Anyway, listen. Soon, I will be live streaming on YouTube and on HBCU League Pass at the same time. Like Future said, at the same damn time, okay? So listen, this is the benefit that you have when you watch me on HBCU League Pass, all right? When you watching me on the replays or whatever, there ain't no autumn ads and stuff like that. And you can minimize the app and you can still hear me in the background, do whatever you're doing. All right. So you definitely want to get into that early, not late. All right. Before I get into the Sonja Stills stuff, the Elite Eight, might I add. Okay. This QB list. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, it's been going rampant in like Instagram, you know, stories and stuff like this. So I'm gonna bring it up because somebody said it to me. No. What happened was, as I saw it off my boy Casey, my boy Quincy Casey. I saw it on his story, and I was like, "What is this?" So I want to bring this up, okay? College Football Network. They're on Instagram. And if you see them on Instagram, please let them know that Scotty does not approve this list. Now, I can't go as hard as I would like to because I haven't seen all the quarterbacks. All right? I have not seen all the quarterbacks. So I can't go as hard as I would like to. But just to be, listen, I know they don't know shit about football because number 2 is Rashad McKay. I don't give a damn what you talking about. If you got this Bama as the number 2 quarterback coming into the season, you don't know what you're talking about. That's all. Listen, I'm just going to stop the shit right there. Ain't nothing else needs to be said. Anything after that, you know you're wrong, okay? It's like when you do a test where one answer affects the rest of them. If you don't do the right equation the first time, then everything else is wrong. This is exactly what that list is. This is exactly what this list is. Once you put Rashad McKay at number 2, everything else behind it is wrong. That's all. I want to be very clear when I say that. I want to be very clear. If you put CFB Network, sir, Fire all of y'all, okay? Anybody who is working behind the scenes at this institution needs to be fired immediately, okay? Trash, okay? First of all, Jaron, you see what I'm saying? How is number two? First of all, how is Jaron Williams number 3? How is Jaron Williams number 3? He might be the third best quarterback at A&M, but he ain't the third. Listen, man. Y'all need to get up off these stars, okay? Get up off these stars. The fact that my man Andrew Body is not top 5 is disrespectful. It's disrespectful. Do you hear me? Okay? Disrespectful. Corey Fields over Andrew Body? Are we talking about one game or are we talking about a season? Okay? One game or a season? Okay, listen, these Bamas need to be fired. How do you not? Jamari Jones from Valley? Listen, I'm telling you. Y'all Bamas don't know what you're talking about. Somebody need to get these Bamas off Instagram, okay? First of all, how you don't have the quarterback from Howard on here is disrespectful. I haven't seen a lot of Meac quarterbacks, but the Bama from Howard should definitely be on here, okay? He should definitely be on here. Who else should be on here? Let me see. Aaron Allen, that's not a bad one. But yeah. Listen, y'all lost me with the first 3. I mean, you lost me with after Rashawn McKay. I ain't gonna lie, y'all lost me. You lost me. Okay. I don't give a damn that Corey Fields won the Celebration Bowl. I'm not putting him over Andrew Body. No, it doesn't make sense to me. It does not make listen, okay. Let me ask you a question. When the Ravens won the Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer, was he a top 5 quarterback? Hell no. Just because you win a championship does not make you a top 5 quarterback. Okay? I just want to make that very clear. Because if you, I'm not going to, listen, that's my point. That's all I'm saying. That's my point. I'm letting that go after that. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Rashawn McKay is above Corey Fields. If we talking about Celebration Bowl winners, you're going to be like, he beat him head to head. But he's a Celebration Bowl winner. Isn't that what it matters? That's what y'all telling me. But, neither here nor there. I'm not going to give you my list until the regular season. All I want to know is this is trash, okay? This is absolute trash. Absolute trash, okay? Absolute trash. So a lot of these, like I said, I can't go as hard as I would like to because I don't know all the guys, like the Virginia State guy, the Fayetteville State guy, the David Wright. Like I gotta really go watch these guys play. So that might be something I can do this offseason is really, I like the guy from Howard. I like the guy, Quentin Williams. Is he on here? I like the dude from Howard. I really do. I watched a couple games of his. I like him. He's a little thin, but I definitely like him. All right. I definitely like him. So yeah. No, McKay is definitely top 10. Let's not. Okay. Now we get him just too disrespectful. He's not number 2, but Rashawn McKay is definitely top 10. Let's not be that. Okay. We're not all the way disrespectful out here. Okay. I'm realistic. He just ain't number 2. I just want to make that very clear. He just ain't number 2. Okay. So I just want to make that very clear. But he is top 10. Okay. I want to be very clear. He is top 10. So I'm not going to disrespect him all the way. He just ain't number 2. Okay. I just want to make that very clear. So, but anyway, that's just. And Quincy Casey, listen. You know my boy Quincy Casey. Listen, listen, man. If you putting Jamari Jones on here. If you're putting go watch Jamari Jones's film and tell me if he should be top 20 in anything. I want to make that very clear. Go watch Jamari Jones's film. just any film and tell me he should be playing quarterback at any point in time, and then you tell me if he top 20 anything. I don't gotta say it. Go watch the film. All right, just go watch the film. I want to be very clear. Jaron Williams, number 3. These Bama needs to be fired. All these Bamas need to be fired. Get him out of here, coach. Get him out of here. Bryant, Rashawn McKay, number 2. What? Sit your. Jaron Williams, number 3. Yeah, the 3rd best on the A&M. Come on, man. Stop it, bro. Just stop the foolishness. He's on the Instagram team. That's what he's. People, it's the preseason list because you're on the CBF network. You work for them. That's why you being emotional. Oh, man. Emotional. Oh, people, it's the preseason. Oh, everything. If you know anything about football, there's always a preseason list to everything. Shut your dumb ass up. It's a preseason list. Nigga, everything. Everybody does a preseason list in football. Shut up. That's what football is. Shut up. Man, make me mad. All right, anyway. Sorry. All right. Yeah, Let me get my thoughts back together. That QB list really messed me up. But if y'all go follow them Bamas on Instagram, please let them know to take that down. Please let them know to take that crap down and get it together. Redo that, because that's just bad. That was just bad. All right, let's get back to this Elite 8. This Sanjay Stills interview. All right, now listen. Let me get my video file together, because I clip some stuff. I likes to be clipping.
Let me first ask the question.
So before I want to get into this, right? Sonja kept saying that she has an Elite 8. Ma'am, you have 7 in the possible. I just want to make that very clear, Sonja. Okay, you have 7 in the possible. So listen, stop it. Okay, and let me show you your 7 in the strong possible. This is what you're working with right now. Okay, this is your hand. This is your hand, Sonja. Okay, you got some spades. Okay, great. You got some spades. The name of the game is spades. Okay, you got Morgan State is your joker because nobody wants them Bamas. Okay. Nobody wants them Bamas. So you good. They ain't going nowhere, okay? Coppin State ain't going nowhere. You hear me? Nobody wants these teams. So you good. You spade tight. You straight. Now it gets a little iffy, okay? You can count the jack. You can count the 2 of spade because we playing joker, deuce, deuce. You know what I'm saying? So you can count that. You know what I'm saying? Now listen. Now we get into the iffies. Delaware State, I don't know if that queen gonna walk. All right, I don't know, but you counted it, so you good. You counted it. All right. South Carolina State, I don't know if that 10's gonna walk. Okay, I don't know, but you spade tight, so you good. Now I know listen. I know for sure. You good. The only thing that's a possible really in this hand is that 7, that bison. That bison's good. You know what I'm saying? That bison, that's a possible. That's the only one. The rest of these, you good. They protecting each other. You got enough space to last you. It's a strong hand, Doc. But that Howard is, listen, it's iffy. Okay, it's iffy. I just want to make that very clear. So. You know what I'm saying? The big joker, Morgan, like I said, them Bamas ain't going nowhere. And most of these teams probably not. But when you get down to that queen, that 10, and that 7, you better hope. You better start cutting with these jokers. All right? You better start cutting with that queen, that 10, and that 7. You better start cutting, because I don't know what your other hand looking like. So you better start cutting, all right? So I just want to be very clear about that. But I want to get into the interview. Right, because she was just saying some stuff. And, I don't know if these commissioners, if they take politics 101, all right? I'm waiting for that statement to come out by Howard. Until I see that, listen. So I don't know if they take politics 101, but we gonna see. But I'm gonna get into some stuff off the interview. You know what I mean? I clip some stuff, so I'm gonna get into this interview. So let's take a look, shall we, of what this interview said.
in regards to what have you been getting and moving forward? What has been getting done in the Meac?
All right. Listen to the question. All right. Listen, you know me. Listen to the question.
Let me first ask the question in regards to what have you been getting and moving forward? What has been getting done in the Meac?
What has been getting done? Listen to me. Done. All right. Just want to make that very clear.
Yeah, so yeah, great question. We are really trying to get our legs under us as we move forward with the conference. I think one of the things of my mission was to do some work with getting our Olympic sports on a national platform. And we recently did that with tennis, getting them on HBCU Go TV.
Tennis. That's what we talking about. We talking about tennis. That's what we talking about. We talking about tennis. We ain't talking about basketball. We ain't talking about football. We not even talking about baseball or track. We talking about tennis. Tennis. That's what we talking about. All right.
So that's a tremendous thing for us. Being the first time we streamed tennis.
The first time we streamed tennis. Tennis. That's what we talking about. We talking about tennis. Oh, okay. All right. What have you been getting done in the Meac? Well, we stream tennis. Ma'am. Tennis? That's what you anybody can have that job. Anybody can. Listen, that's like me saying, listen, listen. We put bowling. We put that bowling on. You see us on HBCU Go? We put, that bowling hitting. You saw it. You didn't see it, but I saw it. That's all that matters. I saw it. That bowling was hitting. Ma'am, stop it. Next question. Next tennis, boy, I swear.
Does the Meac yourself, within that 30, 60, 90 days, is there a strategic plan in terms of what is the future for the Meac?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's one thing, it's two things. So one, I as the commissioner, I have to look at my own strategic plan on how we are going to move forward. What benchmarks are we going to make as a conference in regards to what I envision the conference to be? And then the other piece is our delegate assembly has a committee, a strategic and long range planning committee that is working on our conference strategic and long range plan. And so it all encompasses how we are going to grow together as one mind, one conference. Which is very important. We have to move together. So my vision has to match what the Strategic and Long Range Plan Committee has. And in my, one thing that I purposely didn't do is tell specifically about what my vision was for the conference. I wanted to see what the Strategic and Long Range Plan Committee came up with. And as I listened to them and they tell me what they are putting together, we are all moving the same way, which is very important. We want to see the conference change, be more innovative, be more, again, using strategic about how we move as a conference and what we want to see the conference go in the future. So, and that's very rewarding to know that we are all moving in the same pace.
Listen, that was a little long. It was a little long. But I want you to see. This is no. I'm not letting this go. No. Let me show you something. Hold up. I want to show y'all something before I get, because y'all probably missed it. You know what I'm saying? Let me put this up real quick. There's something in the Bible. You know me. Listen, it's always Bible study here on OffScript. It's always Bible study here on OffScript. It won't come up. Let me see. Your screen window. Oh wow, it won't come up. Oh man, let me see. Let me give you it says Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. I'm gonna say that again. Proverbs 29:19. Where there is no vision, the people perish. That's what it says. So I want you guys to listen to this. I want you guys to listen again. Listen very closely.
So my vision has to match what the strategic and long range plan committee has. And in my, one thing that I purposely didn't do is tell specifically about what my vision was for the conference. I wanted to see what the strategic and long range plan committee came up with. And as I listen to them and they tell me what they are putting together, we are all moving the same way, which is very important. We want to see the conference.
Okay, make this make sense to me. Once again, I've never claimed to be the sharpest tool in the shed, nor have I ever claimed to be the most colorful crayon. Make this make sense to me. You go into a position where you have a long-term strategy team, right? You have a long-term strategy team. And you go in with, you don't tell them your plan. You just sit and wait and see what their plan is. Okay. Okay. Well, different type of leadership. And then you say this. This is what you say. You said, I see where they're going and me and them are on the same page. So let me get this straight. Your same page was this. Let's not add in any new teams. Let's lose our automatic qualifier for baseball. Hey, that's all part of the plan. This is all part of the plan. We on the same plan. Let's possibly lose our biggest team. Let's possibly lose our biggest brand. Possibly. All right. And wait a minute. Let's put tennis on HBCU Go TV. That is one hell of a plan. I'm glad everybody's on the same page. I am so glad everybody is on the same page. This is absolutely amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Okay. And see, this is the thing with me. You have been the assistant commissioner for quite some time. So this isn't like you're coming from a new conference and then you're stepping into the Meac not understanding what the Meac was. That's not what this is. So everybody talking about, oh, she just got the job. You might have just stepped in the role, but you always knew what the job inquired and you always knew what was going on in the Meac. So stop the foolish. Listen, stop giving people outs. Okay. Stop giving people outs. The one thing I can always rock with is trying. Okay. Trying. Ma'am, you have not been trying. I don't give a damn what you do. You made a statement about North Carolina A&T that, oh, we good. You know what I'm saying? We don't need them. They trying to assimilate to the da-da-da-da. Ma'am, they are trying to get where there is a steady ship. Ma'am, you are taking on water. You are the white captain in the Titanic. You don't want to leave, which is cool. But you're not doing anything of substance to add to the Meac. You're literally insulating and saying we have an Elite Eight, but you lost your automatic qualifier. You have teams that have to go out of your conference to play baseball games. But we strong? Ma'am, you got holes in the boat and you need to start patching them up. You got to start patching them up. But hold up. Your plan and the long-term plan, I get it. You know what you remind me of? You do remind me of the captain of the, you remind me of the architect of the Titanic, right? He's like, oh, this is an unsinkable ship. This ship can't sink. This ship can't sink. Where is the Titanic right now? Don't worry, I'll wait. Where is the Titanic right now? Not afloat. I'm gonna tell you this, Sonja.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Yo, you lying. Boo-boo. Boo-boo, come on. You lying. Listen, you're lying. You're lying. Where's the Titanic right now? At the bottom of the sea. Sunk. You're sunk. Okay. Let's continue on.
Change, be more innovative, be more, again, using strategic about how we move as a conference and what we want to see the conference go in the future. So, and that's very rewarding to know that we are all moving in the same pace.
That's great. I like it.
With this, before I share and allow my co-host to get in and ask some questions, one of the things that you came out with was this terminology that a lot of people liked in terms of the Elite Eight.
Absolutely.
In strengthening the Elite Eight. Well, there's been a lot of dialogue in conference that is the conference going to stay the Elite Eight, namely Howard University, in regards to them maybe having an interest in terms of moving to the Colonial Athletic Association. Several reports have put that out there. And so when you talk about this strategic plan, everybody on the same page, this Elite Eight terminology, can you give us some framework in terms of where that's going? Is there any truth to that? What can you say about the Elite Eight, including whether Howard University is going to remain in?
Now, mind you, everything that she says, all I'm gonna say to y'all is this: it better age well. That's all. That's all I want to say. Anything she says at this point, it better age well. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Continue on.
Yeah, what's interesting is rumors. And it's funny that the rumors have taken a light of their own. They're just taken off. And so one of the things is there isn't a lot of truth to the rumors. The Elite Eight, we're committed. They have said over and over again that they're committed to the stability of the conference. And that's important. I don't think, and I think I mentioned this before, I wouldn't have taken the job if I didn't think that we had the commitment of the eight. And one of the things, when you have these stories out there that don't really get
Listen, I'm gonna let it finish.
Confirmation from anybody. And so, it just keeps growing because a light of their own. They're just taken off. And so one of the things is there isn't a lot of truth to the rumors. The Elite Eight, we're committed. They have said over and over again that they're committed to the stability of the conference. And that's important. I don't think, and I think I mentioned this before, I wouldn't have taken the job if I didn't think that we had the commitment of the eight. And one of the things, when you have these stories out there that don't really get confirmation from anybody, and so, it just keeps growing because it's out there, and then you have alumni and, and fans wanting to buy into that, but there's no substance to it, and so, of course, we know that individual conferences want to come after us, but these eight are committed to the stability of the conference and how we move forward together. How can we grow together that's going to benefit the eight institutions? So.
All right. Next up, I appreciate what y'all did. I'm gonna play this real quick. Listen, I'm not a big fan of Charles Bishop in the pregame show, but listen, Charles gained all my respect. Mr. Bishop, you gained all my respect. I love that you cut through the BS, okay? I love that you cut through the BS. This is what my man Charles said.
Go ahead, Charles.
So before I ask my question, I just want to make sure I understood you right. There's no truth to the rumor of Howard leaving the Meac.
Correct.
Okay.
And actually, we expect a statement to come out to reaffirm the commitment from the conference shortly.
I'm still waiting for Howard. Now, I want to be very clear before I go into everything. Listen, I'm very different. Shout out to Stephen Gaither. Shout out to the article because he broke the news of Howard going to the CAA. Let me say this. Listen, she called out the right one. Because me, oh no, you ain't about to put me on blast like that. Oh no. Oh no, sirree, Bob. I would have dropped an article and Stephen Gaither replied, but he ain't replied like I would have replied. Let me show you what he replied with. He is so professional. Man, listen, man, if y'all don't support HBCU game day, man, listen. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Stephen Gaither, because I'm telling you this. That man is so freaking professional, because I would have came for her so quick in this article, it would have blew your mind. He says, Meac commish says Howard is committed to the conference. Reports of the, let me blow this up. I apologize. Let me blow this up for y'all. He said reports of the demise of the are untrue according to the commission. Man, get these ads out of here. Let me see if I can blow this up one more time to help you guys out with this. Oh man, this looks really bad. I hope y'all can see this. Let me minimize myself. Maybe. All right, there we go. Much better. All right. Says reports of the demise of the Meac are untrue according to Commissioner Sanjay Stills. Stills refute reports that Howard University is prepared to move the Colonial Athletics in the near future. 8 current members of the conference are committed to the working together on Dr. Phil. Then she said there isn't a lot of truth to the rumors. The Elite 8, we are committed. He puts the link. This includes Howard's first-year commissioner. Last month, multiple sources told HBCU Game Day that Howard was preparing to vote for the CAA. A high-ranking source at Howard told HBCU Game Day in February that as many as 4 conferences had contacted Howard with interest in adding it. And sources indicated last fall that Howard leadership was involved in conversations with the CAA. All right, so listen, I'm going to say this. Shout out to Stephen. Shout out to Stephen. I can't say that enough. Because you know what I would have said? You know what I would have said? I would have said she's lying. That's what the article would have said. Meac commissioner lying. That's exactly what I would say. And then on the article, it would have been one sentence. She's still lying. Like that's
Why the fuck you lying?
Yo, he better than me.
Why you always lying?
He is so better than me. I would have bringing. I don't know if y'all are bringing the noise. Bringing the funk. That's exactly, boy, I would have been on her head. Do you hear me? Because I am not that professional. I am not. You will not disrespect me in front of company. That's what you will not. You disrespect me in front of company? That's what you gonna do? Listen, y'all know how I get down. I don't even like people subtweeting about me. I don't even like people saying, oh, these black HBCU podcasters. That's me. You are referring to me. All right. So for you to indirectly say that, what? Nah, my boy. No, my girl. No. Oh. Sonja, you got the. It would have been HBCU Doom. I would have started a whole new company, HBCU Doomsday. And my first article would have been like, Sanjay Stills, Meac commissioner, lying, anonymous. That's exactly the energy I would have been bringing to her doorstep. That is the exact. And then I would have linked the article into this professional article to be like, unknown sources are telling me that she lying. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done. But Stephen Gaither is a much better professional than I am. Salute to you, sir. Because me, I'm on that.
I'm petty. I'm petty, I'm petty, I'm petty, I'm petty, I'm petty, I'm petty.
I'm gonna be on your head. Straight like that. Straight, no chaser. Okay. So I just want to be very clear. So just when I was listening to the interview, it just got me bothered. I was like, did she just say that? Did she just say that? I'm like, oh, well, she just said that. Oh my God. Man, listen, I'm different. But here you go. Keep going. Expansion plan. Here we go.
Is there an actual expansion plan for the Meac?
Yeah, so, you know, we'll always have expansion in mind, but you have to remember that when we don't want to just grab an institution. We want to make sure that they're going to fit us, our mission, our athletically, academically. We have to fit. And
Ma'am, stop the fool. Listen, man, stop the buffoonery. These conferences are scooping up your schools. They don't give a damn about fit. Do you hear me? Now, you might fit in the region, but you don't fit culturally, and you don't fit culture. An all-black HBCU, to all the people out there, do not fit in the CAA. Hampton does not fit in the CAA. Because once again, as you guys have told me, we're an all-black institution. They're a PWI conference. We don't fit. Our band, they no band. Our tailgating, they're no tailgating. You guys don't fit. They don't fit. So how do they see the value of a team that does not culturally fit into their conference, but you can't see it for yourself? And then you went after Chicago State, like my man Brandon Cyrus said. You go after Chicago State, your ADs vote to approve it, and your presidents don't. Listen, my mama would always say, get the likes up, get the likes up. The like police just walked through the door. I need like a like police camera. She walked through the door, get the likes up, all right? I'm looking at her right now. She said, get the likes up. And she's walking out and closing the door. She's looking back. Get the likes up. Get the likes. She's closing the door. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. All right. So my thing is this. You're talking about conferences that don't culturally fit with you, and they scooping them Bamas. They're scooping them Bamas up. Like jacks. They over there. Hoo, ha, hoo, ha. They over there scooping you Bamas up like jacks. What number are we on? 3? Oh, watch me. Watch this. Boom. Hiya. 3 of them. Gone. Yo, stop trying to listen, okay? Stop it. Stop trying this. It's pride. All right? It's pride. Now, I'm not saying Chicago State fit. I'm not saying that at all. Listen, I'm not saying that at all. But to me, how do your ADs vote one way? Listen. This is how, listen, man. Oh, man. Listen, cream always rises to the top, right? Whatever's done in the dark always comes out to the light. You just said off the clip, we, the long-term strategy delegates of Assembly Conference of the members of Meac, we've all done this long-term planning and we're on the same page. How in the blue hell are you on the same page? Your ADs are voting for Chicago State to be there and your presidents ain't voting. Make that make sense. Make that make sense, Sonja. But this one's for you, Sonja.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Y'all Bama's lying. Y'all Bama's lying. Stop it. Stop it. This doesn't make no sense.
We can't seem, and I always think, you know, if you're just grabbing institutions just to have numbers, you know, if we are the elite 8, we're strong as an elite 8.
Ma'am, that name does not make you elite.
Anybody who wants us at this point.
That name, listen, just because you name yourself the elite 8 does not make you elite. What are we doing? I can call myself Dr. Scott. That does not make me a licensed doctor. Kind of like Dr. Dre. Just because you name yourself elite something does not make you elite. Huh? Where they do that at? Where do they do that at?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Well, listen, I can't call myself, I can't just start calling myself stuff and then all of a sudden that's what I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, that's some high level manifestation. I'll tell you that though. That is some high level manifestation. Ma'am, you are trying to put lipstick on a pig. Stop calling yourself the elite 8. Your Bamas ain't elite. I mean, nobody wants to be called the sinking 8. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be called the destruction 8. Like, I get it. I get it. The shambles 8. You know, nobody wants to be called that. But the elite, stop it. No. We will not stop. Man, listen, man.
To fit. And we can't seem, and I always think, you know, if you're just grabbing institutions just to have numbers, you know, if we're the elite 8, we're strong as an elite 8. And anybody who wants us at this point is wanting us because we are a strong 8. And we are going to help somebody else. But if we are committed as an 8 institution,
who you gonna help? Who? Ma'am. Who you gonna help? You know, who you gonna help? Who you can't even help. Listen, ma'am. And listen, Sonja. Now I know you've taken the airplane. They always say, this is what they say on the airplane. Before you can help somebody else, you need to put the mask on yourself, okay? You need to put the mask on yourself because you can't help nobody if you can't breathe, okay? And y'all not breathing right now. So you trying to act like people trying to come to you for the mask, ma'am, please, stewardess, please put the mask over yourself before you decide to help anybody else. What are we doing? People are coming to us because they know we're strong. Ain't nobody knocking on your door for nothing other than Jehovah's Witnesses. What are you talking about?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
What are we doing? Man, I feel like a church mom. Ma'am, what are we doing? Nobody ain't coming to your door. Skip. Y'all got room for 2? Y'all got room for 2? Oh, come on. No, ain't nobody doing that. People coming to us because we strong. Strong who? Where? Man, you better go on somewhere. You better go. You better go. You know how people be like, Sarika. Kofi, call Sarika and ask her how to save the Meac. Sarika, how do you save the Meac? Come on, man. What are we doing? Come on, man. Stop it, man. Stop it. What the foolishness?
We're strong as 8. So, but that's not to say that we are not looking to grow in the future. Obviously we are, but it has to be strategic in what we do in regards to bringing an institution. We have to have the right fit. It's got to be the right time to add it.
Ma'am, the time is now. Ma'am, the time is now. Do you not see the fires? Do you not see the smoke? Man, listen, you need to put the fire out now. Their timing is right. The timing is now. What? What are you doing? It needs to be the right time. Now, Sonja, when's the right time, Sonja? I just want, when is the right time, Sonja? When you're down to two teams? When you're down to two teams, now is the right time to start bringing in people. Now's the right time to... What? Ma'am, listen. You don't wait. You don't... Listen. In any health situation, right? In any health situation, for real. Any health situation, you continually get checked to make sure that nothing arises in your body that you don't know about. You don't wait till you're on your deathbed to go see a doctor. That's not how that works. It's not how that works. You don't wait until you dying to go see a doctor. You go get checked. So in the process of checking the status of the Meac, you should be checking to make sure, listen, man, we got to find somebody. Because these white institutions are not playing the same game as you. They're not playing the same way as you. They're not sitting back. Listen, Blue said it perfectly. My boy Blue, the boy wonder, okay? He said it perfectly. He said the CAA did not know James Madison was going to move that abruptly, right? He said, so what they did, instead of looking for one school to replace James Madison, they said, you know what? Let's just engulf a whole bunch of schools and a whole bunch of brands and subsidize that, right? That's great thinking. So that's why you get the North Carolina A&Ts. That's how you get the Hamptons. That's how you get the thing for Howard. You get the push for Howard. And that's how you start bringing it. And then that's how you separate in regions. So people don't have to do the travel costs and everything like that. That is understanding the assignment. Your big brand left, James Madison. Okay, cool, boom. So what do? We replace them with smaller, minor schools that have their own brands. They don't care that they black. They don't care that they black. They like, look, black, purple, orange, striped, yellow. Bring their ass, because we need schools. Listen, man. Listen, this is the thing with me. You're going to get left behind because you have not, you're not thinking in new. You're not thinking, you're not innovating. You are not innovating. You're being Blockbuster. You need to be Netflix. You still think that people are going to drive to your store, deliver videos, pick up a new video, pay late fees, and drive all the way back to their house. Ma'am, that is not the time that we're in. You're still living in the past. A lot of Meac people are still living in the past. You have to be proactive in how you're recruiting and getting new teams. This is not where you want to be right now. It's just that plain and simple. It's not where you want to be. So this just ain't make no sense, man. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, listen. I read a scripture this morning. And let me see what it was. I just want to make sure I'm in the right. I want to make sure I'm in the right lane when I read this scripture. And it reminded me of how HBCUs think towards PWIs, right? It says, and this is what it says. I'm coming from Matthew 5, NIV version. All right, Matthew 5, verse 43. You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. He causes his sun to rise on the evil and the good and sends rain on the righteous and unrighteousness. If you love those who love you, what reward will you get? Are not even the tax collectors doing that? And if you greet only your own people, what are you doing more than others? Do not even pagans do that. All right. That is the last couple verses are Matthew 5:46 through 47. All right. I'm going to read those again. 46 says, if you love those who love you, what reward will you get? Are not even the tax collectors doing that? And 47 says, and if you greet only your own people, what are you doing more than others? Do not even pagans do that. Right. I read that this morning. And what that said to me at this time is this. You're so used to only, and listen, I want to be very clear. I'm not taking away anything white people have done to us. I'm not taking anything away politicians are continually doing to the schools. What I'm speaking on right now is the lack of willingness to open your doors to a new thing to allow them to come in, because it can do this same effect that the Meac and the SWAC have had on me. HBCU football has had on me when I'm thinking Power 5 is this and all this and that. When you get involved in it, you understand and you start having a love for it that is different, right? You start bringing in white people in the culture and you start seeing like, they're like, man, they love football. Listen, I don't care what you're talking about. White people love some football, okay? And in the camaraderie of your enemy, or, because black people say PWIs don't do stuff the same and they don't do whatever. In the camaraderie that you find within football, there are a lot of things that can be broken down by just the sheer understanding that you both have for your team in the battle of football and the love that is shown for your team and for your sport. All I'm saying is show love to the same institution, to institutions that you're not used to being around. And I know this is going way deeper and things like that, but it's just the reason I say this is this, right? Because this is what bothers me, and I'm gonna stand on it. You guys can agree, you can disagree. I've been to enough SWAC games to know you pray at every SWAC game, usually at halftime or something like that. But prayer happens at a SWAC game. I just want to make that very clear, right? You're praying to Jesus. Black people, listen, one thing about black people, they don't have no qualms about saying Jesus. Right? We not saying Allah, Yahweh, what you're saying Jesus in Jesus' name, okay? I just read words from Jesus from the mount, the sermon from the mountain. Okay, I just want to make that very clear. That's from Jesus, okay? Secondly, a lot of you institutions also play Christian hymns. You play Christian hymns. So what I'm saying to you is the underlying root of a lot of HBCUs are Christian-based attributes, okay? They are Christian-based fundamentals. And one of those fundamentals is what I just read. Love your enemies. So at some point, you have to see that, listen, and you guys, like, once again, you can take it as super left, you can take it super right. I'm just going to speak it. I just want to speak it how it comes to me. Thank you, God. You guys have all these qualms about what everybody's doing to you, what everybody's doing to us. When are you going to show the love of allowing other institutions to be a part of your culture to build what you've already built? And I say this all the time. The Underground Railroad wouldn't have worked without white people. Civil Rights Act movements wouldn't have worked without white people. A lot of stuff that we claim, black this and black that, there were white counterparts that helped us in that fight. So to not act like white institutions cannot also help grow your conference brand is out. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Once again, you don't gotta like nothing I say. If you don't like nothing I say, you can.
If I make you feel some type of way.
You see, this is when people don't They don't listen. I said, why not invite people into your culture? See, oh my God, if you just listen and comprehend it, it would be so much better, my guy. But you're dumb as rocks. Dumb as all rocks, okay? I said, why don't you let people into your conference to help sustain and build your conference, which has already been an HBCU conference. But you're okay. See, this is the dumbest stuff about it. You think it's okay to not let anybody in your conference, but the white people who don't like you are allowing you to come in their conference. So in essence, they're destroying your conference by taking your schools and adding them to their conference. What sense does that make? I'm gonna say that again for the people in the back. You're so blinded. I'm gonna say it again. You're so blinded by hatred, and you're so blinded by the ignorance that you're allowing white institutions and white conferences to take your teams away from an all-black conference to kill your conference, but you won't do the reverse to take a white school to save your conference. Make that make sense. They'll take a black conference, they'll take a black school to save a white conference, but you're not good enough. Oh, they're not good enough for them. We're not good enough to take their conference so they can save our conference. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. I mean, listen, if that, hey, do you boo-boo, okay? Do whatever makes you happy, Elite 8. Okay? Do whatever makes you happy. That's all. Listen, at the end of the day, do you boo-boo? Just want to make that very clear. No, you hate them. You hate them. I've heard it. Listen, not all of you, but a very staunch amount of you guys do not like PWIs. Just point blank, period. Because if you like them, if the people in power liked them, they sure would have been courting them. They would have courted them when Hampton left. They would have courted them when FAMU and Bethune left. They would have courted them when North Carolina A&T left. They would have started courting them, but they didn't. So, okay, continue on. Whatever you want to believe. Whatever. Hey, listen. Hey, whatever you want to believe.
Institution, but we can't be in a position where we are just grabbing institutions just because the changing and the shifting of the landscape is going on. And I always think, you know, if you're just grabbing institutions just to have numbers, you know, if we're the Elite 8, we're strong as an Elite 8. And anybody who wants us at this point is wanting us because we are a strong 8. And we are going to help somebody else. But if we are committed as 8 institutions, we're strong as 8. So
hey, whatever you believe, boo-boo. Whatever you believe.
Why the fuck you lying?
Whatever you believe, boo-boo. Whatever you believe. All right, I'm gonna open these call lines up. 516-259-9041. 516-259-9041. Listen. Whatever you believe, boo-boo. Elite 8. Elite 8. They be an elite. Just call yourselves elite. You good.
You are the only participant in the conference.
That's all that matters. What's up? Get the likes up. Get the like. Where we at, babe? 114. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. Here we go. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's up, Scotty?
What's up?
All right. You kind of jumping the gun on her, I feel like, because just because she's not putting everything out there doesn't mean she's not doing what you think she's need to be doing. And you can't say she's not talking to any PWIs because we don't know, because she didn't put it out there, but she says she would talk to a PWI. And with the part what you're talking about, we hate PWIs. That's not true. You're talking about what the fans be saying. You're not talking about the people that's in the meetings, that's doing the business of conference work, what they talk about. You talking about what the fans talking about. That's the fans. You can't worry about what the fans say. You need to talk about what the people that sit in the room together, what they talking about. So you can't put that all on Sonja, and then you can't attack her for streaming tennis. What's wrong with that? I see no problem with that. Because you got to look at when she started the job. Most of the main sports are done. Basketball done. Football done right now. So the Olympic sports, tennis, or wherever other Olympic sport they got on these campuses. So you just gotta be patient, because stuff don't get built in 1 day or 2 days or 3 days or 2 months or 3 months. Everything takes time. So you're right to say that she might be not telling the whole story when it comes to the Howard situation. But she ain't gonna come over there and say, "Oh man, my ship's sinking, so I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to talk to these other schools." That what you want her to say when she do an interview? Tell her not to say Elite Eight. Shoot, I'm gonna pump up what I'm doing. I'm on a job, and I gotta do whatever I can to save the conference. So I'm gonna pump up this conference. So when I do interviews, I'm gonna pump up this conference, because I can name another conference with a woman that's the commissioner. Well, she was inter-commissioner, now she's commissioner, and she pumped up the conference, even though it was bleeding teams. But now it's not bleeding teams no more, because she right the ship. It took time, but she right the ship. So everything takes time. It's okay for what you do to question some stuff, but at the same time, we can sit back and see what's gonna happen when that time roll around.
Okay.
So you just gotta be patient, man.
I'll be patient, Coach Green.
Because I want to know why you want her to move. So how fast do you want her to move?
As fast as those white institutions?
Everything don't move as fast as that.
Oh, okay.
Because it's everything takes planning.
They make it seem real fast, but you're right. You're right.
You can sit there and disagree with me all you want, but
I just said okay.
When it comes to business,
I just said okay.
All right. Well, I'm out there, man.
Appreciate it. Hey, caller, you allowed to talk to me. Three, 4, 5, 4. You allowed to talk to me. Hey, caller, you allowed to talk to me.
Scotty. After watching that interview last night, I actually had to go and play me some spades. And I kept betting 7 under possibles last night. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I got a Boston ran on me the first 3 hands. I had to get up off the table. Next up, I'm watching that interview, and I felt like going to a convenience store and getting some Thunderbird with some grapefruit juice. That's the kind of mood I was in watching that foolishness yesterday. So now we get to the show today. By the way, I love the show as much as always. And I also like your show too, which is what I seem to do. The one thing that seems to bother me about this more than anything else, well, it's 2 things. Number one, we all know the ship is dying. We all know it is. We all do. But we need to own it. And the nicknames, it sounds cute, but it doesn't go anywhere. Now, this is the part, and Scotty, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned this part yet. We don't want to steal from PWI conferences to get schools. Okay. But you have no problem stealing from other Black conferences to get schools. And when you do that, you are hurting their legacies and their vitality and their lives as well. So you want to save your conference because once again, now she was talking about bringing schools in. No issue with that. Now, is this before or after she made the comments about the schools assimilating the white conferences? Because I got confused with that part too. She lost me there. Notice she didn't get upset about FAMU and Cookman going to the SWAC because there's another HBCU conference. You know, hey, it's still black, but you still lost schools. You're still losing people left and right. So, I mean, this is getting stupid now. So, I mean, you know, let me go get some Steel Reserve because I'm going to need some to finish watching this show right now because between that interview last night, which my comments kept getting posted, and that first caller, my eyebrows started to itch, and I need to do something about this. So let me get off this line, brother, man. Keep up the good work, and please keep educating these people about what happens about the business of athletics and why we're so far behind.
Appreciate it, baby.
No problem. Thank you.
Listen, I'm going to say this. Let me say, oh God. Let's not act. This is the part where I have a problem with what Coach Green said. Let's not act like she has not been the assistant commissioner for over like 7 years. Over 5 to 7 years, she had been working hand to hand with Dennis. So she knew all the dynamics of the job. Like, come on. Like, if you go back and watch the first part, the first interview she does with Dr. Cavill, she says, listen, the only thing that was hard for her was that she delegated. She had to start delegating other than doing the work herself. She said that. Go watch the whole interview. She said, I had been doing things for so long, it was hard for me to step up into the role and start delegating. But she had been a part of the conference for over 10 years. So let's not act like she hadn't seen the demise of the teams leaving. I said that in the beginning of the show. I said, if she would have came from a completely different conference, I would have been like, hey man, listen, you just in a, hey, listen, do what you can, boo-boo. Just do what you can. She had been on this ride for the last 7 years of what had transpired. So come on. At some point, she knows what it is. If you've been watching, listen, I tell this all the time, and Mr. Campbell said this to me. He said, people always love to do this, right? When they're the person below you, it's natural. This is what it always happens. Oh, when I become the boss, I'm gonna do this. When I'm gonna become the boss, I'm gonna do this. When I become the boss, I'm gonna do that. People naturally think like that. Oh, I wouldn't have done it that way. When I become the boss, I'm gonna do this. When I get the job, people naturally think like that because everybody else wants that next level. So the time that she spent in the Meac office watching Dennis do whatever he was doing, that's the time she should have been plotting and planning. Oh, okay. Hey, this is going to be this, or this is going to be that, or I'm going to try to, I'm going to shoot for these two teams and da-da-da-da-da. But then when you step into it, you see what it really is. And I'm not saying it's not a hard job. I'm not saying what she's doing is easy. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is you seen all the demise of the conference. You've been a part. You watched it happen. You should have had a plan. Listen, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. I do agree with that statement by Mike Tyson. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. But my point is this: you got to have something better. You got to have something in place. When you got something in place, you gotta have something in place. You got to have some type of idea. And for you to tell me that your idea, that you and your idea with the long-term Disassembly Conference, whatever them Bama's names is, that y'all on the same page, your vision needs to change. That's all I got to say. Somebody's vision needs to change. If your vision and the long-term strategy team had the same vision, somebody got to change. That's all I got to say about that. Hey, caller, you loud, talk to me.
Yo, Scotty, man, first of all, let me apologize, brother. I called a little bit earlier, but I was on mute and I was talking. I was trying to figure out what was happening to my phone, brother. So first of all, that was on me. This is your boy, Larry Sargent, chilling out in Sanford, Florida, man. I just want to, first of all, thank you so much for addressing this and bringing this up, brother. The only thing I really want to add is my dad was in the civil rights movement. And he told me about a concept called being an egghead. And being an egghead is when you use the same negative, racist policies and procedures and perceptions of the people who did the same thing to you against them. It would be like if HBCUs decided we ain't gonna let white people come to HBCUs because when white people had colleges, they wouldn't let us come to their colleges.
Mm-hmm.
He said, whatever you do, young man, do not be an egghead. Don't use the same racist logic or craziness that the racists use against you, and you turn around and use it against them. I absolutely believe the Meac, if it wants to be viable, if it wants to survive, they got to do, let's go Malcolm X. By any means necessary, bringing whatever number of colleges to keep the conference alive, if that's important. One side note, because I'm a FAMU person, I hated being in the Meac, man. Oh, the Meac treated us so poorly. Even we were on our way out, they hit us with some charges or some regulations, some rules, some stuff from things that happened like 10 years ago, right? And we should have gotten an opportunity to do some postseason stuff, but there was this always negative towards FAMU. And a lot of old school FAMU people can speak to that. But Scotty, I also agree, man. I'm in a position where I can see the next position ahead of me, the person operating in leadership ahead of me. And I'm always thinking, man, when I get my shot, I am not going to do that. Or I'm going to do that differently. Like I had a plan. I have a plan to go up, even though I'm not there yet. I have a plan. Now you're right. If once I get hit in the mouth, I'm gonna be like, okay, I gotta maybe do something. But I don't think she has to be dynamic. She has to be a person on her feet. She should have known that 70-year-old man ahead of her wasn't going to be there forever, and she should have been ready to take the leadership. Or, to be honest with you, Scotty, she probably didn't have a plan ever to come up. Maybe she was just content to be in her position right where she was, and somebody else would bring in somebody else to lead her to the next thing. So that's all I can say. Either you have a plan or you don't have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, it means you kind of like what Malcolm X said, and I've quoted him twice already. You're in that slave mode, which is, hey, what do you mean leave master? What could be better than what we got here? Anyway, I'll talk to you later, brother.
Appreciate it so much. Oh, you might want to go back and watch the movie. You know, I ain't read the book though. You might want to go back and watch the movie because at the time when he said by any means necessary, he probably didn't intend for it to be used with white people. By the end of Malcolm's journey, he understood the aspect of collaboration, of understanding that we all could love or we all can be in the same position, even though I'm a black man, is a white man. He saw the commingling of races in a positive aspect. That's why he went back and changed his teaching from what he was doing with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, all right, into doing something else. So, yes, you're right. The quote when he first initiated it was not intent to be a positive statement towards collaboration with whites, but as he grew, as he expanded his mind and his understanding for Allah, he understood that it was more of a collaborative effort and that you could use the white man to have something or do something like that. So let's okay, make that very clear. You know, I didn't read the book. I would say that I didn't read the book. Now I watched the movie though. I didn't read the book. Hey, Dre, talk to me.
Hey, man, I totally agree with you. I mean, she should have saw the writing on the wall when A&T and Hampton left. That right there, because A&T and Hampton is such a big brand, when we left, especially A&T being one of the founders, she should have sit there and be like, okay, from afar, because obviously, you know, she was in the background. But once the commissioner retired, to be honest, he didn't want to deal with the mess that was coming because he knew FAMU and Bethune was dipping. Leaving.
Yep.
And he didn't. He like, you know what? I'm gonna just retire now, because he's like, you know what? I'm gonna pass it on, because I'm almost willing to probably have a search, and nobody wanted to deal with this mess. So it's a mess. So she should have known what was going on. It's after Elite Eight. It's probably only 2 colleges anybody would want. That's probably South Carolina State and Norfolk. And I wouldn't be shocked if CAA came and got Norfolk because it's right up the street.
Yeah.
It's right. It's in that DC area.
Can't be mad at that.
Yes, she should have been playing. And I mean, I'd rather her just, boy, she got a lot of explaining to do. I mean, I'd rather her just come out and be like, hey, we're trying this, that, and the other. Things are not the best right now, but we're going to get better. And that's cool. There's not a conference in America that has only 8 members. So we're not going to act like that's having 8 members is going to be strong, especially when even your best football team has problem funding itself. So, yeah, I don't know what made. I think she's delusional.
We'll see. We shall see.
Okay.
Hey, I appreciate the call, though, Dre. This is. Let me see, because I'm just going. I want to make sure I get some of my stream is good. All right, cool. So this is my thing, right? I want to be very clear when I say this, because this is the stuff that kind of makes me upset. Is the ignorant statements like this. Sir, I don't get why people have such a hard time with white people, right? Now, granted, all of our experiences have been different. And I'll go back, and it's the same thing me and Mr. Campbell talk about all the time. My experiences with white people are different than Mr. Campbell's experience with white people. Mr. Campbell's experience with white men and women are different with Mr. Ford's experience with white women and white men. So I will always take that in consideration of the era in which you grew up in the era of, what things have happened. But to say white people have not been a part of a movement, that would be a lie. That's a flat out lie. And there's historic references in all parts of history that had white people a part of a cause or a movement done by black people. My issue is this. Is that I always tell any white friend or anybody that I'm like, you could never understand what it is to be black. All we ask is for empathy. All we ask is for you to try to understand what it feels like. Because you can never walk in our shoes. You could never understand what it's like to be black. You can never understand what it's like to have a cop pull up behind you and you go through all the motions of what it is to be pulled over by a cop and all the procedures you got to go through and all the thoughts that run through your head and am I doing this right? There's nothing a white man can ever tell me about that experience. But what you can do is you can sympathize with my thoughts. You can sympathize on what you've seen on television to say, dang, man, I hope that doesn't happen to you, Scotty, man. I hope you're okay. I mean, I pray that never happens. That's empathy. That's having empathy for somebody, even though you're not in a situation. Same thing for Hispanics. I would never understand a friend of mine whose mom is not a citizen and he's worried about her getting sent back to Mexico. I could never understand a friend who his dad is illegal and he can't get health care coverage and they trying to hide him and stuff like that. I can never understand that, but I can have empathy for the situation of him saying, dang, man, I hope they pass a law to make that easier. I hope something happens to where, that is what empathy is for. And you show it to everyday people. You show it to things. That is what empathy is all about. To say that white people weren't a part of a movement, that's a lie. It's a flat out lie. And to say that you can't use a PWI in your conference is stupid. And anybody who tells me different, I'm going to tell you you're dumb. Because they see more value in grabbing you than you ever see value in grabbing white people. That doesn't make any logical sense. It doesn't. It doesn't. So my thing is this. For people to constantly keep telling me or constantly call up into my line talking about we don't need PWIs, we are all black conference, we don't need this and we don't need that. The same way that PWI saw the value of black players is the same value that PWI conferences are going to see with black schools. It's going to be the same thing. The difference is they're going to capitalize on it faster than you ever will when you finally realize you could have done the same thing. It's sad. It's really sad to see that you're just so stubborn that you would rather go down in your own pride with your own sword than you will trying to get a PWI to come to your institution. It doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense to me. And Coach Green, I don't give a damn what you're talking about. Fans fans are what pays the bills. Alumni are what pays the bills. Shut that shit up. That's why I didn't say nothing when you called. You're talking about fans don't matter. They pay the bills. Alumni pay the bills at these institutions. Shut that shit up. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's up, Scotty?
What's up?
I just want to make like a reference, a statement as far as like what you said and what everybody else is saying. Like everybody's experience is different with white people and Caucasian people. Like I know from where you from, your experience is different from where I'm from. Because I'm from South Carolina. South Carolina is still stuck in the 90s, so you still have people saying the N-word and all that other stuff of how I grew up in. Which where you from, it's more modern, it's more civilized. You may not have that same experience that I have, but I shouldn't, oh, no, I don't like white people at all because of what one person or a couple of people did to me.
Yeah.
So, you know, everybody's experience is different. And like, you can't, I'm going to reference a movie like Black Panther. You can't be like T'Challa and be like, oh, let's be like our adversaries. Let's take over and do this and, you know, fall root to the evil that, you know, people that did that in the past. We can't repeat the past. Because if we repeat the past, we'll never move forward, group as a people. We cannot do that. We have to outreach to other people to learn, to grow, to be a better community for each other. Because if we're not growing as a community, then what are we doing at the end of the day?
That's
we
facts.
Just can't sit here. We just can't sit here and let because of one white person say, oh, nigga this, nigga that. But at the end of the day, that's just one person. A black person can do the same thing. A black person would do something do 10 times worse than a white person would. And we'll still accept that black person more. That's the crazy part. That is the crazy part of this. So we need to actually sit down to ourselves and think like, okay, what can we do to be a better community with everybody? Not just the SWAC, not just the Meac, but definitely with the other conferences. Because if we don't outreach, then they're not going to reach to us. That's just how it is. If you don't try to, hey, boss, you know, can I get an extra 30 minutes on my break today? Because blah, 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 this, you may never know if you're going to say yes or no. So we're just sitting here just contemplating it. Like, oh, we can, oh, we may, but we ain't going to do it. And you know, one day they'll say, if they just reach out to us, we can schedule a game. Hence, North Carolina A&T, they schedule real. They got some good games coming up. So, you know, we have to reach out to other people. And that's all I got to say.
Hey, appreciate the call, though. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Scotty?
What's goody?
Hey, man, first time calling in. I want to say, first off, I love the show, man. I watch you all the time.
What's your name?
My name is Dave.
Okay, cool. What's up, Dave?
Hey, man, Sarika. That's the first thing, Sarika. But other than that, man, I think people have to realize this. When you talk about HBCUs in general, I graduated from Alabama State University, SWAC. Marched in the band there, okay? when you think about HBCUs, man, I learned this a long time ago. My father taught me this. People support people because you love them. People support events because they like them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So although I may love my school, I'm not going to travel to see my school play Thibodeau Tech in South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to happen. So if a HBCU joins a conference that the people across the field from us don't look like us every time we play, then the support is not going to be there. Because when you deal with HBCUs, it's a total package. It's band, it's football, it's tailgating, it's Greek life, it's all that stuff. People are not going to constantly travel to a school where they're part of a Divine Nine organization and the other school don't have no Divine Nine. They're not going, the band members, your band is going to fall because kids are not going to come to a school to be in a conference where you playing Meac and the team sitting across from you playing Louis in Margaritaville. It's not going to happen. So if you don't pull somebody, if you don't become part of a conference or pull some people into your conference that are crowd drawers, it's not going to be the Elite Eight. You might as well call it the Delete Eight. It's not going to happen because people are not going to travel to see stuff that they don't like. And the conference is just going to keep getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker until it's going to be defunct. It ain't going to be no more.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
So,
can I ask you a question? I'm actually just a few questions. The best teams in the conference are PW. The best teams in FCS are PWIs, correct?
Correct.
All right. Are there not black players that play at these PWIs?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. So my question is, and we all can talk about facilities and everything like that, but when Deion came to Jackson State, it wasn't because one, the growth of the sport became because Deion's he's kind of like a pop culture pipe icon. He's very crossover-ish, right? So to me, it's like Deion being crossover allows other players that probably wouldn't have gone to the SWAC because he makes it cool. Like, so players that probably would have went to a Sam Houston State, or players that would have went to North Dakota State, players that would to teams that have a winning tradition and go to national championships and play in the playoffs in those type of aspects, they gravitate top level talent because they believe that's what's going to get them drafted. Now, once again, I speak to SWAC football and HBCU football, is that it's a culture, and you really don't understand it until you actually go to a game and you get the experience of what it really is. But if you look at it from the outside in, I wouldn't, if I didn't go to a game or if I hadn't experienced the culture, I would never tell my son to go to HBCU because it wouldn't make for football, for athletics. It wouldn't make sense. There's so many other, there's so many other opportunities to actually compete at better levels and get seen better than at HBCU. So my thing is this: if PWI see the importance of having black players, and they, even though they don't have the fan attendance and everything like that, they still see value in playing, playing however they play it. Or if one school gets 5,000, another school brings 10,000, that's not their big thing, but they're about great football. And I know people are going to talk about the finances and everything like that, but at some point in time, there has to be a shift in the mindset of HBCUs that, competition matters. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, this is the thing. I would like to see this, and I don't know if it ever happened, and you can speak on it. If A&T, if Hampton, if Tennessee State ever really dominated the PWI conferences and really were like top one or top two, how would that fan base respond to that? You know what I'm saying? Because we haven't seen HBCU go into a PWI and dominate. I would like to see what it would look like if they were able to. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. I would like to see what that would look like. They do it in track and stuff like that, but I would just like to see it in football of what that would look like. But go ahead.
I got you.
I got you. I just think when it comes to HBCUs, man, and I'm like I said, I'm a graduate of HBCU, marched the band at HBCU, pledged Divine Nine at HBCU. I just think when it comes to us and the cultural experience that comes with our football games, our sports, it's just it's family reunion-ish, if that's a word. You know what I mean? And then when you look at like down south, really, the family reunion can be jumping down south. You can have some cousins that come from up north; they're still your family, but you looking at them kind of like, yeah, this ain't. You know, they can, but they don't know about listening to, you know, B.B. King and King George and Catfish, and they're still family, but they just don't. It don't have the same. If it makes any sense. If it don't, I mean, I know what I'm saying.
I get what. Listen. I want to be very clear. I understand what you're saying. Like I get it, but to me, this is the part where I have a problem. Is that don't expect different. If you want to keep it family oriented, if you want to keep that atmosphere and that environment, that's cool. Just don't expect you getting top players all the time. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't expect that, because if you want to stay there and that's the vibe you're going for, and that's cool. It's nothing wrong with you keeping it how you doing it. Then don't be mad when top players don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying? Even if you do, you know what I'm saying? Even if you do upgrade your facilities and all this and that, just don't be mad when top players are like, yo, that's cool, but I want to do something different. That's all I'm like. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But for the Meac, you're not even in a position to turn, in my opinion, you're not even in a position to turn away certain things because you need to survive. You're trying to survive. Hey, you get what I'm saying?
Off script was Scotty brings you the news, and if your team sucks, we bring you the blues.
Hey, I appreciate the call, Dave.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. Hey, caller, you live talking.
Scotty, what's up, bro?
What's goody? What's your name? Where you come from?
This is James Dozier in the chat.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, I just want to respond to what you just said about the comment that I made. But the comment that I made was kind of piggyback off of what you said earlier. And I think it's kind of misunderstood. Malcolm never allowed any white people to join the movement. They could support financially, but they couldn't join. That was the only thing I meant in the comment. Simple as that. You could support, but you could not join. That's the difference.
Okay. So let me say this. So if that's so let me, I want to make sure I want to make sure we're on the same page. Are you saying the Meac should be like what Malcolm is, or you're just talking?
Go ahead, man.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
No, my bad. You just couldn't join what Malcolm was doing. That question has been posed to Malcolm many times. I can't hear you, Scotty.
No, I didn't say anything. I was listening.
Okay,
I was listening.
Okay, yeah. You couldn't join the movement. That's why you never seen any whites join Malcolm movement as a whole. But that question has been posed to Malcolm when he came from Mecca plenty times. When you go back and listen to all the interviews and things that he's had, but you can support him financially. That's the only thing I'm saying about that statement that you made about Malcolm. Has nothing to do with the Meac, anything like that. I was just responding to what you said about Malcolm.
Oh, no problem. Hey, I appreciate the call. A lot of people don't even do that, but I appreciate that.
And can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Scotty, I met you after the South Carolina State game when you was walking out the stadium. I just shook your hand. You was walking to your car, so I don't know if you remember that. But anyway, it was a pleasure meeting you, brother. But anyway, I hope that the sister gets it right. And I think we all should be pulling for this. You know, I would hate to see another black conference go down in flames for whatever reason. Geographically has always been an issue with the Meac. If we take in consideration what these schools have been saying when they left, this typically has been geographic. the other thing about that, maybe other than Hampton president for many years said he's never envisioned Hampton as being an HBCU. He always wanted to go on the other side. So that's a different situation there. But as far as the Meac has done some great things. The Meac has survived. They've been innovative in certain ways over the years. They hadn't had the big financial situation. If you wanted to be honest with yourself, the SWAC had the financial issues, but nobody talks about that. The Meac have been paying their teams every year at the end of the year, even though it's not a lot of money, but the SWAC has been the one up until last year that made a profit for the first time in years.
You're absolutely right.
Dollars in the hole.
You're absolutely right.
But nobody talks about that. They just beat up on the Meac. My thing is, we gotta hope and pray that this sister gets it right, and somehow we need to try, whatever it is, we got to try to find a way to support each other some kind of way. And we don't want to wish death on the Meac. And I hope that's not the case of what I've been hearing and seeing on the Meac as far as in these comments from different, podcasts and things like that. We've already lost enough as a people as a whole, from integration, Negro leagues and things like that. If that's the case, we just might as well fold up every conferences and just go to the white conference. We need something of our own, and let's just wish that this sister can get together and bring this thing back to some prominence some kind of way, and we should all be pulling for her. That's just my take, man, and I appreciate the show. Thanks for doing what you're doing. But if you got any questions for me, I'll be happy to.
No problem. But the thing about it is on twofold. Yeah, I can be rooting for. I can hope you get it together, but I can also hold you accountable for some foolishness. And you saying that you and the long-term strategy committee had the same plan, and this is the plan that it is after 120 days. Negative, ma'am. I'm not letting that slide. So listen. That's the one thing. Listen. As Black people, we gotta understand, like, just because I critique you or have an issue with what you're saying does not mean I despise you, nor do I wish your downfall. I'm just telling you, let's be realistic. If you come out even most politicians, when they're running for office, they have to tell you what's for you to, even if they lying to you, they have to give you a plan. Oh, if you vote for me, if I get this, I'm going to do that. Why haven't you never came out and said, hey, this is my yearly plan, or this is what I'm looking to do in the Meac. We're looking to do this, that, and the third. I have never, even in the Dr. Cavill interview, she still did not lay out a specific plan to do anything. It was just really general. Oh, we've been doing this. What have you been doing? We've been trying to get this done. Right. I can hold you accountable for that. So that's not me saying, oh, I hope the Meac despises. I'm just telling you, ma'am, listen, your ship has holes and you're not giving anybody a vision, because how can I get behind you to support you when I don't know the vision?
I can respect that.
You see what I'm saying? So you could have called in. Since you're a Meac guy, you could have called in and said, hey, Scotty, man, let me tell you this, man. I like that plan. I appreciate her for this plan. She wants to do this. She wants to do that. And you can actually, you have something of meat, of substance to really go to bat for, right? So now you have something you might want to go support. Hey, man, listen, I'm going to support that young lady because she out here, she got a vision, she got a plan, she got to go. She's shaking and moving. Even though it's a lie, let me ride with the. Listen, I'm sorry, maybe I'm different. I would listen if politicians do it all the time. They feed you a dream. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this when I get off it. Listen, man, you got to do something to calm the noise. You got to, but you not saying anything does not do anybody any justice. Now we all out here just speculating what your long-term plan is. That just don't make sense to me. So, that part.
She seemed to be holding something close to the vest some kind of way, but I wasn't impressed with the interview as far as her laying out some information, but hey, we just hope that she get it together and do the right thing, and hope that she gets some support from a lot of people, and maybe we can turn this thing around. But I would hate to see any Black conferences go down in flames. We just need them.
No problem. Hey, appreciate the call, Mr. Dave Dozier.
Thank you, brother.
No problem.
Appreciate you.
You too. Hey, how you doing, caller? You live? Talk to me.
What's going on, Scotty?
What's goody? What's your name? Where you come from?
My name is Chris, man. Calling from Columbia, South Carolina.
Talk to me.
I'm a Meac's product. I went to South Carolina State and currently always support NC State Bulldogs.
Yeah, turn your background down for me.
Truthfully, they need to just let it burn, because at the end of the day, she doesn't have a plan. They didn't have a plan before she came in office, and she still doesn't have a plan. For South Carolina State purposes, I think we're doing ourselves a disservice by staying with the Meac, because teams are abandoning ship. You know the teams are going to leave once Howard pulls out, which it seems like all likelihood they are going to pull out. Meac is going to fold.
Mm-hmm.
So for us to sit back and wait for them to get their act together, I think is asinine. You look at the history of the conference, man, it hasn't really been that strong, even when I was in school. I mean, we just started to venture out to play those upper echelon PWIs, and a lot of people say, oh, you don't need it. But here's the thing. They needed to, South Carolina State plays those games, and what happens is those kids get highlighted against those opponents. When you look at the Kobe Durant, the only thing they highlighted was the things that he did against Clemson, even though he had other games that were good. But as far as the Meac is concerned, she hasn't laid out anything since she came into office, and that's the sad part. We're here now in May, and we don't even know what her plan is.
That's facts.
So South Carolina State, I would be looking at the SoCon, Southern Conference, or the Big South. And the reason I say that, we've already played a lot of those PWIs, and if you look at the records, we have beat a lot of those PWIs. So I'm pretty sure, football-wise, we can hold our own against any of those PWIs in either one of the conferences. If you look at the records, we played all those teams, and we have beaten those teams. So if I'm the AD, I'm looking to move as quick as possible. I'm not going to let the house of cards fall on my head.
That's real. That's real. Hey, man, appreciate the call.
All right.
Listen, let me say something. Let me say something to you and Coach Green, because both of y'all Bamas is getting on my last nerve, okay? Y'all are acting like public opinion does not matter. Shut that shit up. Yes, it does, right? Let me tell you about your own school, LaShonda, okay? Let me tell you about your own school. Your Pro Bowler, former Dallas Cowboy, right? What's his name? It's slipping my mind. The D tackle that went to the Cowboys. I'm gonna get his name. It's gonna pop up to me. He said, I feel bad. He said this on Pivot. He said, I feel bad. I haven't been back to my institution in 10 years. I haven't given to my institution in 10 years. He said, but I didn't like the way it was going. I didn't approve of what Grambling was doing. He said, but bringing in Hugh Jackson, I can get behind that. I can believe in that, okay? So you have to do things to Jason Hatcher. Thank you so much. Jason Hatcher said, I didn't like the way the program was going. You hire Hugh Jackson, I'm on board. I like the vision. I like the plan. So for a lot of people, you have to see it happen before you jump on board. To you, Coach Green. Also, a lot of times you have to tell a plan. It might not be the whole plan, but you have to get people behind your plan. You can't just say, hey, we out here doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? You want to get with me? Because I'm out here doing stuff. That's not how investing works. That's not how movements work. Do you understand? Maybe because people in numbers make shit happen. Okay. So you might not say all the details, but you give an outline or a plan of what you're trying to do or what some accomplishments you would like to see happen. So miss me with the shits. LaShonda, miss me with it as well. I got time for all you Bamas today. Do you hear me? Hey, Carter, you loud, talk to me.
Yeah, man, I'm an A&T alum. And one thing that we got to understand about the Meac is it's different from the SWAC and different down south. So when people talk about culture and the fans want this, and
The attendance number didn't reflect that. When A&T played Morgan State or Dale State that wasn't a homecoming game, they didn't pack out the stadium. And I've gone to games at Morgan State. Stadium wasn't packed out. So it's not the same. We can't keep just saying, well, we got to do this for the culture. There's no point in trying. I want to save the culture, but I can't go broke myself trying to save the culture. Like, let's be honest. We have to have a fully rounded conversation. And one thing that the Meac had an issue with is why some of the schools left is there's 2 basketball-only schools in the conference, and they're splitting up the football money evenly. That's the issue that the Big East had a few years ago. The basketball schools want to do something different than the football schools. We got to have a whole well-rounded conversation. And parts of that interview, she's a part of the issue that I had with Dennis Thomas. They was not forward thinking. They was not pre-planned. They wasn't planning. They did not see the things coming. Like, everybody's acting like why we shouldn't do. The dominoes are falling. When Texas or Oklahoma said they jumping ship to the SEC, everybody else started making moves.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just like, well, you know, we the Elite Eight. No, y'all 2 and 4 and 6 possibles. There's only 2 schools that definitely want to stay in the Meac. The other 6 are like, yo, one of these things happened. We 2-piecing it out. The Elite Eight. Who are you fooling?
Yeah.
And I'm a Meac person. I went to a Meac school. My parents went to a Meac school. All I know, when my first entry to college sports was Meac. I would love for them to stay. I want them to survive, but they need to evolve. And that's the problem. We don't want to, if they don't want to, they evolve. They still run it college athletics like it was in the 1980s. It is not that no more. That's all I got to say.
No problem. Appreciate it. Listen, man. Y'all is supporting. Listen, man. Listen, you cannot tell people how to support their school. If they don't like the direction and what their school is, I don't get this. I don't get this sheep. I don't understand this sheep mentality that a lot of HBCU people is trying to push on everybody. You do not have to agree. If I don't want to support my school's decision, I don't have to. Am I supposed to give you money even though I don't like what you're doing? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. No, it's no different than what Dr. Lori. She didn't like that Gaucher was fired. She was going to give a certain amount. She didn't give that amount. She is entitled to do that. It is her money. It's what she wants to do with it. And if she doesn't like the direction of what the school is doing, I'm going to make you change because my dollars aren't going to go to that foolishness. Come on, man. Why are we acting like stuff like, bro, stop it. You don't even listen. You would cut your cable bill if they did something wrong. Oh my gosh, man, I can't stand this stupid stuff. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's going on, Scotty? This is David, bro.
What's up?
Hey, you remember back then when the Big East folded? They had all the Catholic schools that played basketball. They didn't have a football team, and so what they did, they rebranded the Big East just mainly off of basketball with those schools, and the other schools basically went to other conferences for football.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what you might have to do that.
So make the Meac a basketball conference.
Right. You make it a basketball conference. The other schools get, like they move to another, to the other conferences. Like you said, Norfolk State and Howard go to the CAA because it's in that region. You know what I'm saying? The CAA, they could have that DC, DMV, television market. So why not do that? South Carolina State can go to, another conference or something like that. But, basically like you just saying, the Meac is on his last leg. And you gotta if I'm the commissioner, you got to get you a pair of black Air Force Ones and start stopping holes and stopping asses and taking names and stuff like that. Well, you just gonna perish.
I respect that. I respect that. I don't know if a lot of people will go for it, but turning into a basketball school, I think you would have some pushback, but that area is more of a basketball area, like the Winston-Salem States, the class, like that area is basketball-ish. So I definitely understand it.
Right. And so, my whole thing is like, you can settle for the pushback, but you're trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to survive as a conference. And you're on you basically damn near on life support. And for when I'm hearing what she said, you've seen the writing on the wall when was the assistant commissioner. You've seen the writing on the wall that this conference is going to go belly up if you don't do anything about it. And the way that she sounded, it still sounded like the same gibberish that the commissioner before her was sounding out too. So when he seen that thing get ready to ship, he jumped ship.
Yeah.
So it's either survive or you perish. Point blank, period. But I'm heading into work, but enjoy the show.
No problem, David. Appreciate the call, man. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, bro, this is Jared from Baltimore, man. You're doing a great thing, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Hey, you're technically not the DMV. Baltimore don't consider themselves Maryland, but you good with me though. You good with me. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm formerly of the HBCU Digest, so I got a vested interest in all this conversation. I'm a Morgan State grad, man, and I will tell you one thing that we have to think about is just the bigger picture of what's happening with HBCU sports. If you look at all the conferences, the historically black conferences, the Meac is the only one with that kind of attrition going on. Gulf Coast Athletic Conference adding people, CIAA adding people, SIAC adding people, SWAC adding people, Meac is losing people. We're even voting against Chicago State. And by the way, that was a school that was on the verge of closing like 3 or 4 years ago. So we're in a really perilous spot in terms of where people geographically and financially want to go. The other thing is, with the Meac, unlike the SWAC, which is our Division I counterpart, the SWAC depends on itself to be successful. Alabama A&M can depend on an Alabama State being competitive. They're going to make money. FAMU, Bethune-Cookman depend on each other to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Southern and Prairie View depend on each other to make money. Grambling Southern depend on each other to make money. Who can the Meac depend on in conference to make money? We almost have to go to predominantly white schools and guaranteed games like everybody else to make money because we can't depend on our own crowds, our own schools selling out for each other. You still know what I'm saying?
I get you.
Then the other part is, what kind of infrastructure do we have in place where the CIAA can come to Baltimore in Morgan and Coppin's backyard and be successful? But we don't have, even before all of the attrition, before the departure of Dennis Thomas, we didn't have the wherewithal or the vision to say, let's get in a footprint and make a difference if it's not working in Norfolk/Hampton. If you say, as you said, it's a basketball town, come to the basketball town where basketball fans want to watch what's going on.
Facts.
It speaks to the vision of the conference. And by the way, that isn't what we're talking about with the sister that's running the conference now. Dennis Thomas left in the middle of the sports year, of the academic year. All she can do is continue a vision or a plan that he had in place. So to the point that her interview wasn't as remarkable as we all thought or hoped it would have been, what can she do from December till today? With all of the departures, all of the stuff going on, deals that are being made or not being made, all she can do is, at this point, continue with what Dennis Thomas was or was not doing. Correct?
That's fair. I give you that.
What are you going to make between New Year's Day and May 3rd? Like seriously? Like, do we not know how college sports works? The final thing I'll say, bro, and again, great show, man. I love tuning into it. The final thing that I'll say is, at a certain point, we've always depended on what white television networks are able to do, what predominantly white institutions are willing to give up in guaranteed games. And lo and behold, Now we're looking for what white conferences are going to take us in. At what point do we sit here and say, of all the professionals that go on to do these tremendous things and cause all kinds of industry, do we say, let's get some of that corporate support coming our way? Let's do what we can to get our people selling out games, our people buying suites. Because at a certain point, it's not sustainable to rely on white conferences, white schools, white television to make us money. Appreciate you, bro.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate the call. Hey, what's up, Mr. Campbell? Talk to us.
Man, listen, this is a great show. I agree with you on so many things. And I mean, we just got some delusional people just from a historical standpoint and everything. All right, first of all, let's go to the Meac. I want everybody to think about this. The Meac had Hampton, North Carolina, FAMU, and we're going to add Howard, which is out the door. 4 of the biggest academic brands in HBCUs. And what did they do? Not go to any one of those schools and say, what do you guys need to be successful? What do we need to make sure, especially when Hampton left? What did they do? They did nothing. Because everybody in the conference was talking about travel costs. Everybody. A&T, Howard, and FAMU damn sure was saying it. The travel cost. What are we going to do? So to your point, did they say, well, you know what? Hey, let's break this thing up. Let's get some more schools in the north. Maybe let's go grab a school in the south. They never did that. When you're stagnant, you die. And the Meac has been stagnant for 30 years. That is the problem. Now, the thing about partnering with white conferences. So here's the thing. I'm not against that. Because you know what's funny? And this is what I'm saying, the delusions that we have. HBCUs partner with white schools for grad schools all the time. If you go to FAMU, guess what you do? We got 30 schools that we're partnered with that Dr. Humphrey set up that you can go automatically to grad school. And I'm sure other schools have that. I know A&T has it. I think Jackson State has partnerships.
That's dope.
I know Georgia Tech has partnerships with the AUC. So it's not like we have not done that. The problem is with that is, bro, you got to have something to offer. What is Commissioner Stills going to offer any school? Let's think about that. What is she going to say to come to my conference? See, that's the problem. See, that's what we got to be honest. It's about what you have to offer. She can't go out there and say, yeah, I'm going to go get school, because there's nobody going to say, if I'm a school, I don't care if I'm HBCU or not. Because look at FAMU in North Carolina A&T. The Meac, we were in the Meac. It was not good business for either one of us to be in the Meac. Now, A&T did what they did. But FAMU should have been in the SWAC 30 years ago, financially and culturally. So the problem is she has to define what the Meac is. And until she does that, they're always going to have a problem, because it's a poorly constructed conference based off the money. Now, for all you people, FCS football is not anything. The thing that drives conference realignment for mid-majors is basketball money. They make triple the money on basketball. And as somebody pointed out, that's why the Big East said, all you big-ass schools, get the F out. You're messing up my money. And all them Catholic schools said, we are making billions, and not one of them have a football team. Mid-majors make money off of basketball. This is all about making sure those conferences stay alive for basketball. It has nothing to do with football. Zero. And if you think it is, you don't know money. Has nothing. These are basketball moves that are being made. The CA, go look. The CA has made runs in the tournament. They make more money off their conference tournament than they make any dime off of football being shown on TV. Just their conference tournament. That money that ESPN gives them for their conference tournament, they make more money than their TV. So this is basketball. This ain't got nothing to do with football. So I need people to stop that. Now, the last thing that I want to say, we have got to stop putting our black football players, well, you know, they're black and they're on the field. Those black kids go because those are business moves. They don't want to be there, but I ain't mad because they are there. So I'm not going to say we're playing a black, because Alabama might have 22 black football players, but Alabama ain't black. Trust me, go stand your ass in them stands, and then you go walk outside, because those are the same people that if those kids from Alabama would kneel, they would say, get the F off our team, because that's exactly what they did say. So let's stop that, because that's wasting our time. But the bigger thing is that the problem is she has nowhere to go, no chess move to play. That is the problem. Because I'm going to ask the question again. What is she going to offer any school? Because she's in a catch-22. The schools that are geographically close, they don't have the money to move up. That's what a lot of everybody say, oh, Clark is never moving up. They don't have the money in the facility. There are rules to move up.
Mm-hmm.
And me and you talked about this. If you guys really look at all the HBCUs, we have such a disparity in the amount of students. Me and Scotty looked at this. Go look at how many students UAPB got. Scotty, what was it, 2,500?
It was 2,500.
2,500 compared to FAMU, Southern, and Jack State that might have damn near 10,000. Quiet as it kept, UAPB should not be in the SWAC, size-wise. These are the struggles that we go through. So we have to be honest with ourselves where even our schools are at size-wise. Because we have schools that are competing in levels that they should not be in. That is a big problem. That is what we're talking about. So far as the Meac, she has got to have an honest assessment of her geographical location, what she's going to offer anybody to come to the conference. Because again, if you ask FAMU, North Carolina A&T, Hampton, and now Howard, they will tell you why they left, not why they stayed. That ain't a good selling point. It's not. So we just have to be honest. So again, she went on the show. I admire her for doing that. And I want to give the lady respect, because one thing about it, it always happens. When some shit's effed up, then you got to call a black woman to clean it up. They dropped some bullshit. She was there, and I agree with you, but they dropped that on that black woman's lap. Now they want her to be Superman. It ain't happening.
Mm-hmm.
That is a heavy lift for that black woman to give in the state of that conference in. So I don't expect her to say anything amazing in a 2-hour interview when there's nothing amazing for her to say other than schools are leaving. That's it. That's all she can say. So she's trying to maintain the status quo and figure out. So if I was her, which I think I've heard people say, I would do partnerships, cross-conference partnerships, to see how that works. But it's not like, again, we don't do this with white schools all the time academically. We be happy. You know, we partner with Ohio State. We partner with Wisconsin. You can go to Michigan Law School. We brag about that all the time. So it's not like we're scared to do it. But that is the disconnect between our athletics and our academics. So we really need to get all of that in alignment. So that's why, hey, man, like I say, great show. But I wanted to just give some perspective, because people talk about, oh, they move. Man, they move because of basketball. Got nothing to do with football. None of that. And again, with her, she is in a bad catch-22, because the schools that she could try to get just do not fit the academic and financial profile to move up to a conference. And the other schools are not going to go to a conference that, frankly, that schools like A&T and FAMU are leaving. Those are big names.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like if you go into a restaurant, and I know you, and you shaking your head, I'm kind of like, well, man, Mr. Campbell, go in there and eat now. Bro, you think I'm going to go in there and eat? Hell no, I ain't going in there and eat.
Oh, man.
I don't need to taste the food to know the food is bad. I can see the food is bad by the look on your damn face.
Oh, man. That's facts.
So that's all I got, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
Hey, appreciate you calling, Mr. Campbell.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, what's up, Q? Talk to me.
Hey, what's good, brother? Hey, man, I'm catching up with everything, man. I've seen the interview, and bruh, let me get this right, man. I love seeing strong black women in power, and I want them to be successful. But sister, please don't sound delusional. I mean, the fact that she's not acknowledging that that schools are looking in other places, and other conferences are looking to actually pick their schools off, because those schools have viable products.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they're going to look. Because they're going to do what's best for their schools, and to say, hey, we're expecting someone to have strong statement. Like, no, sis, you're going to bite your words 6 weeks later, because the political game is they're not going to tell you what's going to happen. They're just going to move, because at the end of the day, because it's a lot easier for me to move, hey, tell you one thing and do another. And as far as the interview, what she was saying, and like the question, like, what is Meac doing right now? And she goes to like tennis, Olympic stores. Okay, I get it, sis. Tennis and Olympic sports is a lot cheaper to maintain than football, basketball, and baseball, which is your money-making sport.
Mm-hmm.
If that's your strategy on going to Olympic sports, and it's actually not a bad strategy because you can actually maintain those 15 scholarships for basketball rather than 68 for football and the facilities. But sis, if that's your, I mean, you got to sell it. I mean, I wasn't sold while looking at that interview, and I've seen her a previous interview when she was talking about esports. Now, esports is my thing. I'm one of the guys who helped set up the Army esports program.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why they stopped paying Jeff Gordon $11 million annually and start putting, Staff Sergeant Haitian King as their esports athlete, because it's a lot. You're in 6% of their homes, and also of United States. And also you have a lot more influence. If that's the Meac's vision, like double down on it. And it's also cost effective. And so that's one of the points of it. And also when she was talking about the strategic and long range planning committee, and by her vision and what the strategic and long range planning committee had two separate visions, that red flag off the top. It reminded me when Bruce Gordon from the NAACP, young black brother who was the NAACP president, who was a Verizon, wanted to take the NAACP in a new direction, and then I said the old heads, the old guard, was against him every way, and the brother just quit. So if y'all aren't on the same page, she's going to get frustrated and she's going to walk away. And also the last thing I would say is right now there's a possibility that she can go down to 6 teams, but your 6 teams is still a Division I conference. It is what it is. She's branding this as an Elite 8. If you tell your teams to hold, because right now the NCAA is doing the Division I exploratory committee, and their best option is to hold. Tell them to hold, strengthen the brand that you have, but like I said, don't be delusional. And that's just my frustration with her, is just she sounds delusional, but I want her to be successful. So she's going to see this, because they say they don't watch a show. The commissioners, they say they don't, but it's the only opportunity that commissioners and athletic directors actually hear from the fans. Is your show, Scotty. So, sister, I wish you all the best. I hope you do well, and the whole world wants to see Meac do great. So, appreciate Scotty for having this platform.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate the call, Q. Hey, listen. Yeah, I appreciate Q for saying that. Like, we don't want to see the black woman fail. Nobody wants to see a black woman fail. Let's be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can, all jokes aside or whatever, nobody wants to see, you know what I'm saying, a black woman in a position of power fail. That's not cool. We don't want that. We don't want to see that. All I'm here to do is hold the accountability stick. Okay, I'm here to hold the accountability. So I'm gonna have to get me I'm gonna get me an accountability stick, because that's all I'm here to do, is hold accountability. All right, I'm gonna take these last 2 callers and then we up out of here. All right, listen, tonight, interview with Julian Calvez, quarterback for Grambling, incoming quarterback for Grambling. Really good young man. Tonight, 7:00 Eastern time, 6:00 Central. Make sure you're here and tuned in. All right, let's get it.
A quarterback for Grambling, incoming quarterback for Grambling. Really good young.
Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Yeah, this is Christopher from North Carolina.
What's up, Chris?
Just wish everybody good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you're at. My question, not more of a question, but it's a statement. We talk all the time about making sure that our HBCUs get their fair share as far as value goes. And with the Meac conference, I'm not seeing anything that they are doing to keep people to stay. You know, it's a problem with people leaving. So why haven't the leadership have made the rounds to all these schools and saying, what do you need from us to make sure you stay? It's sad that Morgan State had to go out and get their own apparel deal because they felt they can get a better deal from Under Armour than sticking with the conference contract of Nike.
That's real.
Also, this last point, Morgan State is going to start up their, I know that she talked about Olympic sports. Morgan State is going to start up their wrestling program again, thanks to, I think it's the Black Wrestling Association. Why can't she go out and try to get more streams of revenue for these conference members to keep them happy? Or in the case of Coppin and Maryland University, to start up their football programs again.
I mean, listen, see what you're saying makes sense, right? But the thing about it is nobody knows the plan. So nobody can, we can all make speculations of what she should and shouldn't do, but she has to have a plan. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she doesn't. She just hasn't communicated that to the people. So we can't even back what she's saying. We can't even, how can anybody, okay, let me get an example, right? Let's say you could be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. If you don't know what she needs, how can you be of assistance? You might have connections in an area where she might need assistance. You call up to the office and say, hey, I heard your plan. You know what I'm saying? I think I can be of some help. I know this person. I know this person that does that. I know this person here. But when nobody knows your plan, but you and your long-term strategy committee, you know what I'm saying? What are we supposed to do with that? But go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm totally in agreement. At this point, the Meac is on their last legs, depending on how this new D1 ruling stuff comes out. They can't depend on D2s because as I think it was Mr. Campbell that said that if you look at the enrollment for these other schools like Virginia State University, Kentucky State University, their enrollment is very low. You're lucky maybe under 5,000 at the most. So you're going to have to formulate a plan one way or the other.
That's fair.
But you got to voice the plan in a way that if you have people out there that may have certain connections, you got to voice it in a way that they know how to help you. If not, it's just going to be people talking about, well, they should do this and they should do that.
That's fair.
Yep. And that's all I got to say.
Hey, man, appreciate it. Appreciate it so much. Hey, caller, I appreciate you waiting for a long time. You've been on this day waiting. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, sir. I said this is Herb Stewart, HBCU Digital. Man,
hold on. What did you say? You said HBCU Game Day.
HBCU Digital Network.
Oh, HBCU Digital. Got you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, fellow DMV cat. There you go.
DMV, you're good with me. Let's get it. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I got some thoughts. And I want people to understand something right off the top is that, the CAA has been targeting the schools that we've been talking about for a long time. First Hampton, North Carolina A&T, now Howard. Those brands, the smoke has always been there. And fan perception, and I want folks to really listen to this. Fan perception is just as important as, it's just as important a factor in determining how this is going down as anything. Because if you got fans that don't think the Meac is stable, don't think the Meac has a plan, you're going to lose out, period. And this is something that after watching that interview yesterday, it's like, and I'm not going to, kind of put the, Ms. Stills on blast because, in my opinion, she's in a really bad spot because the previous leadership really didn't do her any favors in terms of, any sort of rebranding after this stuff, went down with the, with the other squads leaving the conference. Honestly, the Meac could have rebranded as a basketball first conference prior to, Dennis Thomas going. But that's just me as a hoops guy. It's definitely something that, folks got to really understand. They got to understand that this has been a long time coming, and it's been a long time in terms of years and decades coming, in terms of the lack of foresight from presidents and Meac leadership in terms of, being creative and branding and marketing and putting those rivalries, at the forefront for the conference, not just for football, but for basketball, and those regional ties. The Meac, roots are in the CIAA, point blank, and those roots should have translated, but they didn't, and that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Off the top, besides that, man, you're doing an awesome show. We talk in our own side talks a minute. We've been on spaces together. You've been knocking out the park, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
A lot of us, keep up the good work. And, for those of us in the chat that are looking at this as just strictly a marketing thing, it's not that. There are a lot of factors that are going into, where the Meac is at right now. And it's not just football. It's not just athletics. It's having an overall comprehensive plan, to package it to keep schools in. And, this isn't the day and age that, your affiliation is going to keep you in. It's just not that.
No problem. Hey, man, appreciate the call as always. See you in the spaces.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Yes,
Peace.
sir.
That's my boy Herbert. All right, let me get something real quick. You already know what it is. Listen, I know we've been talking. Bobby, I'm going to have to let you go, man. That was my last two callers. You should have stayed on the line when you were supposed to. Deuces. All right. Now, Blue, if you want to call in, you're always good with me. Hey, because I got breaking news by my boy Blue. I know you guys been talking about it in the chat. I want to make it known because, I got to give my boy Blue credit when credit is due. So let me see what we got here. Did I get the image? I surely did. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Window. Bam. Here we go. All right. My boy Blue has, let me zoom this in. Here we go. Let me see. Yeah. So Florida A&M edge, blah, blah, blah. Transfer Isaiah Land, 2020 Buchanan Award winner, posted offers from Auburn, Kentucky, Georgia, LSU, Texas, Memphis, and UCF, all on his Instagram story. It is what it is. So it looks like my boy Blue out here breaking news. Shout out to Blue, man. Fam, listen, man. God, dog, listen. Is Dion still calling? I mean, I know Dion, I know Dion is like, Jesus Christ. He's like, oh man, I could have got him. But it's just flat out wrong. It's just flat out wrong. Why would a kid who is talented enough to play in FBS, why would he go FBS? It's just wrong. Flat out wrong. I won't respect it. Willie's a great coach. He's a great man. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Shout out to you, Isaiah, man. Go get your bag. Go get your bag. And all you fans, don't be. Do not be emotional. Do not be emotional. Go get your bag, young man. Go get your bag. All right. So listen, like my man said, it's never over until it's over. It is never over until it's over. All right. Because he can always come back and be at fam, or he can go get that white man bag. He can go get that white man bag because, the white man's ice is colder. The white man's ice is always colder. right, listen. All 215 people on here, appreciate you guys. Remember, interview tonight with Julian Calvez, young man from Grambling, will be on tonight talking about his charity organization as well as his excitement to be at Grambling. All right. So listen, I appreciate everybody who's called in. Make sure you go download the HBCU League Plus app. Download the app. You don't want to be behind when things start popping on the app, okay? Because there will be shows that I will only do exclusively on HBCU League Pass. So if you don't have it, and then you talking about Scotty, I didn't see the show because your dumb ass didn't get the app. All right, so there is stuff that will only be done on the HBCU League Plus Pass app. You know what I'm saying? Might be some breakdown videos. It might be some interviews. You never know. Get the app so you'll know. All right. So let me see anything else before I get up out of here. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the stream. And also that boy Dumas is in the chat. That boy Dumas is in the portal. I heard Dion's trying to get him. So I don't know if, you know, is that fair? Is that fair to only go after players that you're cool with the head coaches? Is that a thing? You know what I'm saying? It's not like dating your boy, it's like dating your homeboy's girlfriend or something like that. Like, hey man, like you had him first. You my guy. I can't go after your guy. But if he not cool with us, we can go after him. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't know if it's like a code. Is there like an HBCU code or something like that Dion's now trying to put out there? Maybe, I don't know. It's just a question. Just a question of mine. But anyway, so listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.